Welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin. Today I have another compilation style video for you. This time from Malaysia, home to Malay, Chinese, and Indian influenced dishes. It's one of the hot spots for foodies in Asia. So please enjoy the top 35 Malaysian street foods. You want chili? Yeah. So for lunch today, we are having fried noodles or Mee Goreng. We are at a place called Hussein Mee Goreng, and he is cooking these noodles ridiculously fast, and he is definitely an expert at doing this. So there's all kinds of different ingredients mixed in with the noodles, and it is all cooked over top of charcoal. There's even little bits of like charcoal ash flying out. It smells really good. He puts a couple different types of chili sauce in there. He puts some ketchup, mayonnaise, a sweet soy sauce, egg, and tofu, oil, I think a little bit of stock too. So there's quite a few ingredients. We're gonna go inside, sit down, and try some fried noodles. And give it a little bit sourness, and grab some from over here. Let's try that. Oh yeah. Right off the bat, that is like the perfect contrast of sweet and spicy, a little bit salty, and a little hint of sourness from that lime juice. But really, the dominant flavor there is just that wok, smoky, super smoky charcoal flavor. So we are at lunch now, and this is a really popular with the locals restaurant for grilled fish, or Ikan Bakar. We are outside of the city center, so this is a real local spot, and we've got a nice spread of dishes. And of course the main pièce de résistance is this grilled fish. So it's actually grilled in this banana leaf you can see here. They've got a big grill out front full of the fish, all wrapped up in the banana leaves to kind of contain all those juices. And I'm gonna rip back the skin. I've already kind of tore it open to let it cool down a little bit. You can see all that really delicious looking flesh on the inside. Get a nice dip, and then just try that first by itself without the rice. That is definitely some fresh fish, and you can taste that it's super smoky. I like that sauce. It's a little bit sour and a little bit spicy too, but there really like a ton of bones in there. Little small bones, you could probably eat them, but when there's that many, I don't know if you should swallow a whole mouthful of bones. So our next stop today is not for a food, but for a drink, and Malaysia is famous for all their interesting types of drinks, and this has got to be one of the most complex drinks I have ever ordered in my entire life. So this is called an Ais Tingkap, and this is just a thing of beauty. It is bright red. The way that he made it is just mixing a lot of ingredients. He started off with some sugar water. I saw him mix rose water in. He put lots of shaved ice. You can see all those basil seeds floating around on top there. In Taiwan, we call them frog eggs because they kind of look like little eggs. He also used a spray bottle to spray a mixture of spices in water on top of it. He cracked a coconut, used coconut water, and he also used the coconut flesh. You can see it floating on top there, some coconut flesh. And then there's even some ingredients that I'm not familiar with. So the owner gave me this pamphlet which explains the history of the stall. And this place has been around since 1919 when the owner brought it over from Sri Lanka. And the ingredients that I'm not familiar with are listed here, the Malay names. So maybe if you know the English names, let me know down in the comment box. It's called Kempang Semenguk, and then also Geta Angor. This one is called a rubber grape, and this one it doesn't look like it has an English name. So this has got to be one of the most complex, as I said, drinks I've ever ordered. So let me try this out here. Oh man, that is so refreshing. So back in here, they've got the curries. It's a coconut milk based curry, and all those smoked meats can be made into one of these curries, or you can have them alone, of course. They've got one that's actually, I think it's like a sea snail, and then they've got the duck, of course. She's just putting the final touches on. It must have a little bit of turmeric in there because it's got a yellow color to it, and you can just smell that delicious coconut milk. It looks so creamy and good. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get a nice meaty piece for my first bite, and I'm gonna put it over on the side of my rice here. And I gotta grab some extra curry to kind of soak my rice. This doesn't look like it's gonna be spicy, but they assured us it is definitely going to be spicy. So I'm gonna go in with my fingers here, pull a piece of this duck. Oh wow, that feels so tender. Oh my gosh. And then I get a little bit of rice. All right, let's try that. Wow, so smoky. Oh my gosh. Spot now, and we are having something called Pisang Goreng, which is fried bananas, and they look amazing. I just was in the kitchen watching the women prepare them, and it's pretty simple. They just slice the bananas up and batter them and then fry them in a ton of oil. But the amount of bananas that they have in there is incredible. There has to be thousands of bananas, and they are just frying up hundreds of them at a time under extremely hot conditions in there. I could barely stay in there filming very long because it was just so hot, but they smell and they look really amazing. So check these out. They're like half bananas. They were kind of cross-sectioned and then fried up after they were battered, and then she's kind of topped it in a bunch of the little batter like crispies. And let's just break this open and look inside. I'm guessing this is gonna be like a gooey banana inside. Oh, and it is hot. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh man. So these were very ripe bananas, like almost blackened bananas that they were using. but that looks awesome. I'm just gonna dig into that right now. Really, really crispy on the outside, extremely crispy, almost like tempura, Japanese tempura. But then the inside is a banana, and the banana, since being cooked, has kind of gotten like gooey, mushy, but in the best way possible. Okay, we are at our first spot today for breakfast, and this is a spot that is very popular for their Roti Canai. So the way that she makes this is she actually kind of like waves it in this motion that makes this bread extremely, extremely thin. And then after that, she makes some pretty precise folds, and that enables it to still have this like really airy texture to it and extremely fluffy. So after that, they throw it onto the flat griddle and fry it up with just some oil, and it's pretty plain, but it's also served with some dal. So over here we've got the dal, and it's also got a nice little dollop of sambal sauce in there as well, so that should be pretty good. The reason that this place is so popular though is because the way that they cook it is the traditional method of using charcoal. So they've got this extremely hot charcoal fire going. Fluffy, it's got this like layered texture to it, and this is a good piece, and it just does an amazing job at soaking up the dal because of the texture of that bread. Okay, let's get some of that dal and also some of that sambal sauce. So this is just like a lentil curry, the dal with some carrots and some vegetables, and then the sweet sambal spicy sauce. Let's try it. So the clams are just grilling on a piece of corrugated sheet metal. So he just waits for the clam to pop open once it's been cooked, and then removes one half of the shell and then back onto the grill. And a little bit of sauce coming now. What's this, sambal? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I guess this is what breakfast in Borneo looks like. We've got some grilled clams and roasted coconut. Check out these beauties. So 15 ringgit in there is, I don't know, looks like maybe more than 20 clams. And beautiful yellow sambal on the inside, and then also served in another clamshell over here, an extra little sambal. I'll try this first by itself before I add any more sauce. Oh. That is not what I was expecting at all. It's really sweet. It's coconutty. I'm gonna try it with a little bit of this black sauce now, because they are really sweeter than I was expecting. Really smoky too. But I love the coconut flavor. There's gotta be a lot of coconut in that sambal sauce. Those are addicting. this up, and as you can see, they were grilling it at such a hot temperature, it was actually almost like oozing out of the banana leaf. And these are kind of just like snack size bites. Oh yeah, there we go. So as you can see, there's a big piece of the spiced fish in there. It's like a perfect little nugget, actually. Oh yeah. Okay, that is awesome. That is just super, super smoky. It has that almost like burnt flavor, charcoal flavor. A little bit spicy from the chilies in there, a little bit salty, and that is like a firm, firm fish.
Eat here?
Yeah, eat here, please.
How old are you?
23.
Study?
No, travel. Yeah. About to try something called Lemang, and it is basically a bamboo stalk that is stuffed with sticky rice and coconut milk and also salt and sugar, and it's just crazy smoky here, and we're right on the side of the street. It's a really cool spot and it looks really good. We've also ordered up some beef rendang, which she mentioned is commonly eaten alongside the lemang. So it is very hot still, and that looks awesome. It just kind of looks like some really, really sticky rice. I'm gonna dip it in this beef rendang. Get a piece of beef with it. Oh yeah. Whoa.
Good?
Very good. Oh, that rendang is amazing. It's quite spicy, but the lemongrass in there is amazing. And this rice is awesome as well. You can see it's sort of tinged because it's also wrapped in a banana leaf to stop it from sticking to the bamboo stalk. And that is like a very sticky, glutinous rice. And it does a good job at soaking up this rendang.
The big one.
Oh wow. What do you call it?
King lobster.
King lobster.
Yeah.
So you call this king lobster?
Yeah.
Look at the size of that. He's absolutely huge. Beautiful blue color. That's huge. How many kilos is this one?
This one.
Yeah?
King.
Oh, he's almost 2 kgs. I'm gonna start with this beauty, the butter. Looks like they've added cream into it too, and just look at that. Look at that. There is so much meat in there. That is an entire small lobster worth of meat, and I'll go for a little dip in some of the sauce that's at the bottom here. There is so much meat on that. Okay, we are at our first stop today for breakfast, and this just looks incredible. We are sitting down for a plate of Nasi Kerabu, and we are at a very popular restaurant called Fozi Nasi Kerabu. And actually, the Street Food World Congress 2017 named this in the top 50 street foods. You can even see on his sign outside, he has said that. And I checked, and it was number 22 or 23. So this spot is famous for good reason, apparently, and that is for this dish here, the Nasi Kerabu. So let's dig in. And this just smells incredible. I'm just gonna try to get sort of like a bite of everything. Maybe not that pepper yet, but definitely make sure we get some blue rice on the bottom. Lots of grated coconut, and then that oolong mixture on top. So this should be a good bite. Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing. What does it taste like?
Like milk, slimy, sweet.
You're not selling it to me. Butod, that's what they're called here. Sago worm. All right, here goes nothing. It's a little bit sweet. It almost tastes like a grape. It exploded with juice. The skin, a little bit chewy. It's actually not that bad of a flavor, to be honest. So we are at a restaurant today for breakfast that is serving curry mee, which is a type of noodles with curry. And this place is called Sister's Curry Mee. It is in like an ancient restaurant. This has been here for 60 years. The same two sisters operating a very small stall just under a tree here. And it's a very simple dish, but it looks really good. So we're gonna order up one and try it out. Okay, thank you. So first and foremost are the noodles, and there's actually two different types of noodles. There's like a thinner noodle and then a thicker noodle. There's pieces of squid on top, so there's some squid and some tentacles, pieces of tofu, also pieces of coagulated pork blood, and then tons of chili. So I'm gonna grab all this chili here, look at all that, wow. And I'm gonna mix that into that broth, get it nice and fiery hot. Oh man, I asked for extra chili. I'm hoping that that wasn't a mistake because this looks like it's gonna be pretty spicy. So let me mix this up and I will try this out here. So let me grab some of the noodles. Just gonna go in for the noodles first. Let's try that. Oh man, that looks beautiful. First things first, that is extremely spicy. That is fiery hot, but those noodles are awesome. Those are cooked to perfection. There's two different types. One of them's a little bit more slippery and the other one's a little bit more firm. But man, that broth is hot and thick. Check it out. So our breakfast has arrived, and the way that he makes this is he uses a piece of dough that he thins out very, very thin, like paper thin, and folds it a couple times before he fries it up until it's kind of golden crispy, and then he beats it, kind of like pounds it up to fluff it up, and then they top it with all kinds of different things. So here we have our really sloppy looking plate of food, but it looks absolutely delicious. So you can see that roti underneath, it's kind of been chopped up into little pieces. There's some vegetables on top here, and then we ordered ours with soft-boiled eggs. So we've got 2 soft-boiled eggs and then a little bit of sambal sauce on the side, that chili sauce. So let me break these eggs on top of this here and check that out. Oh man, let's get the other one. Those are some seriously creamy eggs. And I'm actually gonna grab a little bit of soy and pepper to put on top of this. So put a little bit of soy sauce on top, not too much. Probably okay. And then a little bit of white pepper. And then I'm just gonna mix this all up a little bit. And let's try that. Oh man, this looks super, super good. Oh yeah, it's a little bit spicy. There's definitely a curry flavor going on there. The eggs are super creamy, but my favorite part is the texture of that roti. It's kind of chewy. That is good. It is a little bit spicy, and that is super hearty for breakfast today. We are sitting down in the restaurant and our Claypot chicken rice has arrived. The way that this place works is you stand outside if there's a line, place your order first, they'll call your number, then you can come inside and order up. They didn't have a whole lot of options on the menu. We just got the most original type of Claypot chicken rice and it has arrived. It looks absolutely incredible. It's a very simple dish. You can see it's served right in this clay pot, huge clay pot. We ordered the medium size. On top here, we've got a little bowl of, I think that's like a salted fish with a little bit of oil. I'm actually just gonna take that out for now so we can see what's underneath here. So you can see there is pieces of Chinese sausage there, huge chunks of chicken. I did not expect the chicken to be so large, and then it's all sitting on a bed of rice. And I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit so that it doesn't burn to the sides of the bowl, because if you leave it too long, it will start to burn. And there's tons of chives in there as well. It smells super smoky, super fragrant. I love that there's Chinese sausage in there as well. And you can see that the rice has turned a dark color from all the soy that he's added. And man, I just can't get over the size of those pieces of chicken. Look at that, that's an entire chicken wing right in there. Oh, it's steaming hot. Oh, yum. So for our dessert, we have come to the Chow Kit area. Chow Kit is famous for the market, and we're actually gonna go check that out right after we have our dessert. And this is something I've never had before. I read about it online and I just thought I needed to try it. This is Durian Cendol, so mixing two of my favorite things, durian and the famous Malaysian dessert cendol. So here we have it. It is absolutely beautiful looking. So you can see this is just a bowl of cendol. There is those little green pandan noodles underneath, lots of shaved ice, and it's all swimming, like overflowing actually, in coconut milk. This version has some corn, so you can see some kind of like creamed corn, and then of course the big chunk of durian, some fresh durian. I can smell it. It smells really potent, a little bit fermented almost, and this just looks too good, so let's try it out. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to eat this, so I'm actually just gonna take a bite of durian and then chase it with some of the cendol. Oh, yum. Oh, man. Wow. That is a unique combination, to say the least. Okay, we are pretty full after that big Nasi Lemak breakfast and then that massive fish head curry. We ordered the small kind of the fish head curry, but that was still certainly a filling pot of curry. And we have come for a little bit of dessert. So this place is called Hiap Jo, and they bake lots of different things, but they're really famous for their banana cakes. And what makes this place so special is it is over 100 years old, or around 100 years old, and they've been using the same wood-fired oven to cook all of their breads and pastries for the last 100 years, so it apparently gives it a really nice, like, smoky, rustic flavor. So we've ordered up a small set of the banana bread, so it comes with 5 pieces, and they are nice and like golden brown on top, but still feel extremely fluffy, and I love banana cake, so I'm really interested in trying this out. Okay, that has a really nice banana smell. I'm just a lover of banana bread, and I know this is gonna be a good bite. So let's try it. Oh yeah. Okay, moist is an understatement for that. That is like creamy bread almost, if that is a thing. Okay, we've got our glass of coconut wine, and it smells like a little bit sour, extremely alcoholic smelling, but it doesn't really smell like coconut, but you can definitely tell it's got like a white hue to it, and that would probably be the coconut. It's kind of a very local spot we're at, and kind of feels like a prison because all the windows are caged in, but let's try this out. It smells really strong. Oh wow, that's a lot better than I thought it was actually. It's kind of got like a carbonation to it, and it's certainly alcoholic fermenting tasting. Let's taste it again here. And there is a little bit of coconut like fruitiness to it. Actually, that's really good. It sort of tastes like carbonated coconut water, but then like mixed with wine. It's better than I expected. So here we have our breakfast, and this is the Nasi Lemak. So basically, the main component of Nasi Lemak is the rice, but this isn't any rice. This is rice that has been cooked with coconut milk and also pandan leaves, so it's very fragrant rice. I have a piece of beef rendang, which has been called the best food in the entire world. It is one of my all-time favorites. A big dollop of chili sauce, sambal sauce with looks like some onions in there. I've got some cucumbers over here, just raw cucumbers, and then some roasted peanuts. This is a very typical plate of Nasi Lemak. One thing that they didn't have that I usually get is the Ikan Bakar, which is little fried anchovies. But that's okay, this still looks really good, so let's dig in. So let me get my first bite here, get a piece of rendang. Oh, that's a pretty big piece. Rip that in half. Small piece of rendang, get some peanuts in there, a little bit of sambal, and lots of that. I'll just get a cucumber so I get everything, and lots of that rice. That is full of flavor. And that sambal is quite spicy actually, wow. That rendang is just soaking in that curry. It is very, very flavorful. It's kind of tough, but also tender at the same time. It's almost like halfway between a really tender piece of steak and some beef jerky. And it's got sort of like a nutty coconut aroma to it. And then I love the crunchiness of those cucumbers and then the peanuts. And then that sambal is very, very spicy. We ordered up to drink today Teh Tarik, which is Malaysia's famous tea drink, the pulled tea, and you can see it is nice and frothy on the top and very creamy from the milk they put in it. So let's try this out. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that froth on the top. It's just kind of like bubbly. So we are at the Laksa stall now. This one is so popular. It is completely packed out. You're going to be sharing tables if you're sitting here, but that's okay because this Laksa looks seriously good. This place is called Aritam Laksa, and this is our bowl of Laksa. So what it is a mixture of a lot of ingredients. So the main thing here is the noodles, and then we have a broth which has a lot of fish. So you can see this is all kind of just like minced up fish. There's lots of herbs in there. There's onions, there's mint, there is ginger flower, there is some red chilies on top. I saw him put some lettuce in there and cucumbers. And I'm sure I'm missing some other ingredients. So I'm just gonna kind of give this a little mix. check out those noodles underneath there. Oh man, it smells really, really fragrant. So let me grab some of this, make sure I get a little bit of everything, and let's try that. Oh man, yeah. That is so full of flavor. There's literally so many flavors going on at once there. I love the mint in it. It gives it such a freshness. We are at the chicken wing stall now, and the way that they are cooking this is so cool. They've got this kind of dedicated chicken wing sort of rotisserie oven that they're cooking these in. So all the chicken wings are perfectly laid out on these metal splits, and then they can put them right into this charcoal oven. The guy is brushing them with a nice looking kind of dark, I'd imagine it's a little bit sweet sauce, and he's also using a hand bamboo fan to keep that charcoal nice and hot and keep that fire going. It's quite exciting to watch him cook it, and it smells absolutely incredible. Super smoky in here. Our wings have arrived, and these look super good. They're actually glistening in that oil, and also I think it's a mixture of honey and soy that they're rubbing these with. They smell super smoky, and it was 21 ringgit for 6 wings, which is still a little bit expensive, but better than the price of the lamb. So let's try these out here. Oh yeah. Oh man. Super, super smoky. And nice and sweet on the outside. But man, that is super juicy chicken on the inside. Half an hour ago. Oh, that's awesome. They've also provided us with, it looks like a chili sauce, so I'm gonna dip this in and try that. These are so juicy, like really, really juicy wings. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a little bit spicy. Ooh, that's actually quite spicy. This plate here we have some massive prawns that he fried up fresh, and then what really makes char kway teow the dish is the kway teow noodles, which are a nice kind of flat, bouncy, sort of jiggly noodle. And then on top here we've got some bean sprouts, and then also Chinese sausage. He also threw some chives on there, and then also tons of different sauces, oil and chili sauce, and this just looks amazing. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, we actually ordered it with a duck egg. So he cracked a nice looking duck egg on top and scrambled that in with the char kway teow. So let's dig into this. This char kway teow was cooked over top of some burning hot charcoal, so that gives it a nice smokiness. And as you can see, some of these bean sprouts and even the noodles have sort of been charred, so that should add a nice burnt kind of smoky flavor to it. And let's try that out. I've got a little bit of Chinese sausage, some bean sprouts, a duck egg, pretty much everything all in one bite. Oh, that is so smoky. The restaurant we are at is called Satay Zaina Ismail, and this is just purely a satay restaurant. They have one of the longest charcoal grills I've ever seen for cooking the satays. Just hundreds of the sticks on there at once, all over charcoal of course, and they're using the traditional bamboo fan to cook those. So we just ordered up 10 chicken and 10 beef. Our satay has arrived. We have only 2 different kinds, the chicken and the beef, and I can smell these already. They smell super, super smoky. And you can see we've got a couple other things on the plate. So we have the ketupat, which is a kind of glutinous rice that was wrapped up in some leaves and then steamed. And then we've also got, of course, some raw onions and raw cucumbers. And just check these out. The beef looks so like glisteningly beautiful, oily, and then you can see all those little kind of crispy bits on the end. And then over here we've got our chicken, and it looks like this has been rubbed in some spices, maybe a little bit of chili, maybe a little bit of turmeric as well, because it's got kind of a nice orange color. And just look at that kind of burnt charcoal bits there. The smell's just so ridiculously good. My mouth is watering, and of course we've also been served it with a nice, I like how this place has served it with a huge bowl of sauce. So this is like a peanut, spicy, chili oil, satay sauce. So let's just go in here. I'm gonna go for this chicken one right here, and I'm just gonna make sure that this gets completely smothered in that sauce. Check that out, oh man. That looks so good. Let's try this.
Sudu, cara sudu macam mana?
Okay, our fish head curry has arrived, and it just smells amazing. It was given to us just boiling away in this hot pot, so I'll kind of walk you through it and show you what ingredients are inside. Everything is just completely slathered in this like cheesy, thick curry, spicy curry sauce, and then I started to put quite a few ingredients in there. We've got some okra, some Chinese long beans. I saw some cabbage go in there. This looks like kind of like a fried fish cake on top probably. And then underneath all of this, where is it? Oh, here we go. Is a massive fish head, huge fish head, and then another big piece of fish meat over here. So I think that's all the ingredients, but I think the secret is in this extremely creamy looking sauce. And I already tasted it and it was wonderful. So I'm ready to dig into this. There should be some good meat right around the cheek, right there. So I'm actually just gonna taste that by itself with some of the curry. Okay, let's try that. Oh wow. Oh yeah, that is amazing. It is like cheesy almost because it's so creamy and it's kind of got that like cheese zing to it, and then that fish meat is like ridiculously soft, but it's not like mushy soft. It's really like flaky tender. We've got our coconut here. This is a place called Anba Coconut Trading Company. They sell, I think, wholesale coconuts, but you can also come here to just have a drink. And it is winter here in Penang. It is almost the start of December, but it is about 30 degrees Celsius today, so it's still really hot. You definitely need to make sure you are taking in lots of liquids, especially when you're going around eating all day. So let me try this coconut out here. Oh man, oh that's delicious. It's just like the perfect amount of sweetness, extremely refreshing, and it's not hot. They've kept them in the shade. They're not cold, but it's definitely not hot, so it's still really refreshing. Oh man, coconut water just tastes so healthy and nutritious and delicious. They have all kinds of different breakfast items, and they are just pumping out the Roti Canai, which is their specialty. They also have prata, and they also have Roti Bakar. So this place is popular with the tourists and locals alike, and they're very, very friendly. and I just can't believe the amount of people they are serving and the speed at which they are doing so. It's pretty incredible to watch. Our second dish has arrived. These are two of my all-time favorite breakfast items here in Malaysia, Roti Canai and Roti Bakar. So here is the Roti Bakar, and you can see this is just a piece of toast, and then on top we have two beautifully soft boiled eggs, and that is what dreams are made of. Oh man, that is some seriously creamy eggs. So the way that they like to do it here in Malaysia is put a little bit of, I think it's white pepper. Just put some white pepper on top. And then just a little bit of soy sauce to give us some saltiness. Not too much. And then on this toast underneath here, I don't know if you can tell, maybe under this piece, oh man, that egg. There is butter and also kaya, and what kaya is a jam of pandan leaves, coconut, sugar, so it's a sweet jam, and I'm just gonna go in for a piece of this, make sure I get lots of egg. Check that out, that is absolutely beautiful, and let's try that. Oh man, that is like my favorite breakfast food of all time, I think. It is sweet, salty, creamy, rich from those eggs, and then that butter. Oh man, look at that. That is beautiful. Let's have another bite. Oh man, it is just so saturated with those soft-boiled eggs. So we are here at the iced coffee stall, and this is an extremely popular yet very, very modest stall. So this auntie is here 6 out of 7 days of the week, and she just has a little bicycle cart that apparently she is serving some really good iced coffee out of. So we're gonna wait in line. There's quite a big line, and we are gonna order ourselves up a coffee. We have our iced kopi or iced coffee, and this place is called Kopi Pang, famous auntie. The auntie working here is extremely cute and really, really friendly, and she definitely has been making coffee for a long time, because just watching her is exciting. She has the technique completely down to a T. So the way that she makes it is she uses this really, really thick black coffee that she mixes with condensed milk, and then she does the like Malaysian tarik, or the pull, to foam or froth up the condensed milk, and then she uses the froth condensed milk to put on top of your iced coffee, so you can see there's quite a bit of froth on the top here, and then she finishes it off with her signature star, her coffee star, and it kind of goes away pretty quickly, but it's a nice little touch, and it makes this place pretty unique. So let's find out how the coffee actually tastes. Oh yeah, oh man, get a little bit of froth.
Then slowly put inside the middle.
So there's a woman cooking something called panjaram. It's a local type of fried rice batter cake with pandan, or you can get brown sugar. I just ordered one with pandan, so it's green one. 1 ringgit. Thank you. Oh, it's hot still, yeah, very hot. And you can see the shape is kind of like they call it a UFO, or it looks like a hat, kind of like a cowboy hat. A little bit crispy on the outside. I think it's gonna be really hot, so. Oh, you can see that, you can tell that it's made out of rice batter because it's got this kind of sticky consistency. It's not super sweet. And it's kind of chewy in the middle and then crispy on the outside. It's oily, but it's good. This morning market is extremely cool and there's so much good looking food inside, but we've picked out one thing specifically, and this is called Apam Balik. Basically it is just a pancake, and these are common throughout Southeast Asia, and you can order all kinds of different ingredients. We ordered up the chocolate chip with corn, and I believe she put crushed peanuts and sugar in there as well, and just check that out. It is oozing with chocolate. So let's dig in. Okay, this is extremely hot and it feels really like fluffy. I'm gonna try to rip off a piece here. Oh, that is hot. The insides are like molten. Okay. It's kind of like sort of uncooked on the inside. So it's really kind of creamy, but then the outside is really fluffy. But the corn in there and then the batter that hasn't been cooked sort of makes it like really creamy on the inside, which I wasn't really expecting. And then that is extremely sweet from that chocolate, and then I can also taste those little crushed peanuts in there as well. Check out how sloppy this is. It is just smeared with chocolate everywhere. And really what makes this unique, I guess, is that cream corn on the inside. So it adds like a little bit of sweetness and a lot of creaminess as well. And it has cooled down a little bit, so let's take another bite. So one of Sabah's most famous dishes is Ngiu Chap, which is a local beef noodle soup. I have it here. It's just absolutely packed full of all things beef. Just look at those chunks of beef. There is thin strips of beef, there's beef balls, beef tendon, and it's all in this beautiful brown beef stock. Oh, look at that. There's even tripe. Look at that. Wow. It's so beefy. It's like concentrated beef flavor. All right, let's get into some of these goodies here. There's huge chunks of beef, and there's also this chili sauce here, which I'll generously dip. Wow. Obviously very tender meat. That sambal is nice and spicy with a little bit of sourness as well, but the flavor is just so strong of beef. At our first stop, this place is called Pun Ki. It's been open since 1949, and this is one of the most popular places here in Chinatown, and they're serving a really unique dish that I've actually never tried before. We have it here. It's actually raw fish porridge. So here we have a plate of the raw fish. It's kind of marinating in this sesame oil and a little bit of ginger and some coriander, and then back here we have the porridge, which is smoking hot. Again, a little bit of sesame oil on top and then some green onions. So I guess the way you're supposed to do this is you take some of the raw fish. You can see just this beautiful thinly sliced raw fish, and put it right into your porridge, and it'll kind of cook away because this porridge is so hot. So I'm not exactly sure how long I'm supposed to leave it for. I'll let it go for a minute. And it's not supposed to cook fully all the way through, just enough to kind of blanch it. That should be good. And then I'll grab my spoon here. Oh, this looks good. This is a really unique dish. Oh yeah, I love the sesame oil. It's really fragrant. The fish is so soft. It's still not like completely cooked, so it's just very tender. That porridge, very, very thick porridge. And very, very hot. All that ginger in there too. Oh, this is actually a nice little dish. I'm gonna grab quite a bit of this fish and just kind of throw it all in there. This is actually really tasty. I love it. I'm not sure we're doing it right, so let us know down in the comment box if we did it wrong. I think the fish might be a little overcooked now, but I'm gonna add a little bit of this white pepper here too. That'll go nicely with it. This shop opens at 4:30 a.m. so it's a perfect thing to have for breakfast. Very light and healthy feeling. So for dinner tonight, we are on a street called Kimberley Street. This is sort of like a night market almost at nighttime. There's a bunch of food stalls, and actually this is a restaurant we're sitting at now that I've already filmed at before. But the last time I remember, it was absolutely delicious, and they're serving a dish called Kway Chap. So we have our bowl right here. It's a mixture of a lot of ingredients. So it starts off with some really interesting looking flat noodles, and then there's a bunch of braised duck parts, so the duck meat, they use parts from the head, and also there's a braised egg in there, and I think she also mentioned that there was pig skin in it, and it's topped with just a little bit of fried garlic and some herbs. So let me just go in right here and grab just a big spoonful of everything, and it's just kind of like a mixture of all kinds of different items. That looks really, really good. Big piece of duck meat on top, so let's try that. Those noodles are really interesting. They're kind of wide and flat at the same time, and the duck meat has like a nice kind of soy braised flavor to it. There's some coagulated pig's blood in there as well, which is kind of like falls apart in your mouth. It's very soft. So we were stopped at this shop here. It's got a huge line. They're serving lots of soybean products, but we're going to try their dohua, which is like a soybean tofu pudding, and big line, really popular. I'm excited to try it. So we have our dohua, our tofu pudding, or here they call it tofu fa, and I think they've added some gula melaka, which is palm sugar, and it is served hot. He's got a massive like cauldron full of the silken tofu, and this is one of my favorite desserts of all times, but I've never had it served like piping hot like this before, so let me try it. Oh yum. Yeah, that is silky, smooth, velvety. The texture of it is just so unique and delicious. The flavor is just like soybean milk, but then it's also got a sweetness from, I believe it's palm sugar that they've sprinkled all over top of it. That is good. I like it hot. And this place is so popular, only 1 ringgit 80 sen for this, so very, very cheap. And they're just pumping out the dohua. It is hot and sweaty here on Pedaling Street in Chinatown, but this is still good even though it's served really hot. Thank you. Wow. Wow, that smells so good. You try some of these little shrimps. Well, not so little actually, and there is a lot of them. It definitely seems as though it's kind of a weird combination, but at the same time, it also seems like a likely thing to do here in Borneo, where there's an abundance of seafood. The Bak Kuh Teh has really infused into the flavor of that shrimp. And that's a meaty guy. The seafood here never disappoints. I hope you guys enjoyed this compilation style video. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what country you'd like to see me do next. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified when I post the next episode. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.